had to live 2026 the exact same way that I lived 2025, I would be happy. I would be content with that. I feel like I'm proud of my progress. I'm proud of the things I did. I'm happy about some of the things that happened to me. That being said, I always want to strive for a little bit better each year. So I am going to make a vision board for 2026. These are the supplies I've gathered. I have all of my sticker books. I'm hoping that some of these kind of look cute. They're not all promising. Then for magazines, the only magazine that we're subscribed to is Better Farming. So I grabbed some issues of that. And then I actually printed out myself like a sheet of icons and photos from Pinterest that kind of represent what I'm going for this year. The last time I made a vision board was for 2024. I didn't make one last year, but I think it's just so fun to look back on because this was 2024, which was 2 years ago now. I did go to the Eras tour. I did go to London, did not go to New York City. I did obviously turn 21. I went to Scotland, obviously went to the movies. I did, some investing. We did this year, we started a garden. So a lot of our produce is completely fresh and homegrown. So that's what I was going for here. That didn't happen in 2024, but it did happen in 2025. And then I started university. I'm still in university. I did go to this tour as well. Obviously, I took a flight to get to Europe and we did not get chickens, though we are still in talks about it. So that is something that's not completely off the table, but it was something that I thought I wanted in 2024. But I think just looking back on this, it's like, wow, I really did achieve so much. So I'm hoping that's what's going to happen with this year's vision board. Everything that I printed directly connects to the vision for 2026. First thing I printed was just some 2 and 3 balloons because I'm going to be 23 this year. I did literally just turn 22, but it's coming. And then I just finished my 3rd semester in university and I'm starting my 4th. So finishing 2nd year and starting 3rd year is on my vision board. And I'm hoping to get a 90% average GPA. This year, I was fortunate enough to find an amazing summer job. So I am hoping that I find another amazing summer job, or even better, I just get the one that I had last year. And I also printed out a $sign and this graph because I am gonna continue to invest, to make money. That's important to me. I think right now I'm young, so I still have like disposable income. And I think if I'm gonna make mistakes in the stock market or with my investments, this is probably the time to do it. And then I printed out some dumbbells because I do have a gym membership and I go like once a month. So it's not like a lot. I think it's just so busy with school that it's just like so much to fit in. My biggest issue with my gym membership and not going is the fact that I pay $60 a month for my gym membership and I'm going like once. So financially, it doesn't really make sense to have it, but I don't want to get rid of it because I feel like that's just me saying like, oh, we're just not going to go to the gym anymore. And that's not what I want either. I think when I have free time, I do like going to the gym, but during like September, October, November, it's just not for me. So I have not been going as much as I want to. And my goal is once a week. Even saying that does sound like a bit of a stretch, but I'm like, if I'm going to be paying $60 a month for a gym membership and I can't even go once a week, then that's kind of not financially smart. So maybe that's what I'll do. If I can't go to the gym 52 times next year, then probably just gonna have to axe the gym membership. My favorite hobby of all time is going to the movie theater. So I printed out some posters of movies that are coming out next year that I'm probably gonna see. Reminders of him, don't judge me, okay? Tyrese is in it, and so I will be sat at the theater. The Supergirl movie, I watched Superman and I really loved it. And then Scream 7, of course, iconic horror franchise. And then I just printed out a little cinema ticket because my preferred way of watching movies is at the theater. I know that people say that it's dying off, but not here, not in this household. I have such a passion for it and I don't want to become like complacent where I'm like, yeah, we could maybe go, maybe not. Like, I want to be intentional about it. I go to movie theaters less during university months, which I think makes sense. I should be probably focusing on my studying. But I still do go, and I do want to continue going. And then for another hobby, this year has been really pathetic in terms of reading. I got a bunch of new books, but I have not been reading them. Which, again, I do prefer going to the movie theaters over reading a book, which didn't used to be a thing. So my goal, I just printed out, I own Beach Read and I love Holly Jackson and this is her new book. So I just printed out these covers because my goal is to read at least 3 books this year. 3. Shouldn't be that hard, but gonna be honest, I don't know if I read 3 books in 2025. And that sounds really pathetic because there's 12 months, 365 days. But it just wasn't a priority. Because while I love going to the movies, I don't want to lose my passion for reading either. And I feel like I kind of have. And then in terms of health, I am a type 1 diabetic, which I have mentioned a couple times. And my goal is to have my A1C be 7.0 by the end of the year. I have a doctor's appointment coming up and I don't think it'll be 7.0 yet. I've gotten like an insulin pump and I've been on an insulin pump for a little over a year and my A1C has like slowly been lowering and we're finally in the 7s. So I'm hoping that I can get it to 7.0. Another passion that this year I've kind of lost my spark for is fashion, which even saying that out loud is so sad because I used to make like fashion content and like outfit ideas and stuff. I just am not in love with my closet. It's okay. Getting dressed in the morning is not something that I'm like, ooh, so exciting. I just do it now. I feel like I rewear a lot of the same clothes and I just don't care that much. So I printed out a picture of like a stacked closet with some fun items on it because I want to get that passion back. Maybe not to the full extent that it used to be because I used to be like really into it. And I don't think I have to be at that level, but I don't want to just look at my closet and be like, wow, this is so boring. Like everything's the same color and I don't want to have a shopping problem because I used to go thrifting quite a bit and I don't want to go back to that. I do need to find like a healthy balance between the two because like I do miss occasionally getting something new. The thing about fashion along with all my other hobbies is that you have to use money. Like I pay for money to go to the movie theater. I pay for the books to read. And I think that I'm gonna have to pay for clothes to dress how I want or to get that spark back because it's not necessarily like I hate my fashion. It's just so boring and I don't feel passionate about it at all. And I don't know if I want to prioritize spending money on clothes. It's gonna be interesting to try to find that balance this year because I don't even know where to start with that one. And then yeah, I just printed out 2 little clothes hangers as well because I thought that would be cute. In 2025, I didn't do a lot of traveling and I think that's realistic because in 2024 I traveled a lot because I knew that I was going to be starting university, and as someone who didn't have a full-time job and wasn't in school, it was like the perfect time to do all these things. So I went on multiple vacations in 2024 and I knew going into the next 4 years that my priority would not be traveling. That being said, I do want to go on at least one vacation, ideally to Mexico in 2026. I would like that. If I went in the summer or if I went in December, I feel like those are the most common times for me to go now just because of school. And along with that, it's kind of connected, but I want to maintain my Spanish. I can speak some Spanish now. I've taken 3 classes. I officially have 3 semesters of Spanish under my belt. So I can speak, but I'm very much a perfectionist. I don't want to sound stupid. So I don't really speak it unless I'm forced to. And I do want to maintain my Spanish because I'm not going to have it in semester 4. I'm not going to have it until semester 5. So that's quite a few months until September when I start learning again. And I don't want to just lose everything because it is important to me to be able to speak Spanish. It's something that I set out to do and I don't want to lose it just because I'm embarrassed to sound stupid. And knowing Spanish actually helps a lot when you're in Mexico, as you could imagine. Reading street signs, being able to actually order your food in Spanish. Something that I want to maintain, I don't really want it to be any different this year, is cooking home-cooked meals. I used to get like a decent amount of fast food because it was just convenient. And I have been really enjoying trying different things. Like currently I'm obsessed with sweet potatoes. I do love a grilled sweet potato. So that's something that I've done in the last couple of months that I'm really proud of, and I just want to continue it into 2026. Sometimes people have a word of the year for the vision board, and mine this year is prioritize. I think I just want to learn what I want to prioritize, because I try to do so much and I try to appease so many people that sometimes you like look back on your life and you're like, did I want to do that, or did I just do it because like I thought that I was supposed to? So I kind of just want to see and reflect on it and see if certain things I'm doing are actually a priority to me, or if they're a priority to someone else and therefore I feel like they're my priority. And then kind of in the same vein, I have solo does not equal alone, because I want to be less afraid of doing things alone in 2026. I go to the movie theaters alone, or at least at the beginning, was it last year, where I went to the movie theaters every single Tuesday by myself, and I loved it. It was awesome. But then with the school schedule, it just didn't fit in, could not go to movie theaters midday on a Tuesday. And so I started going on the weekends with other people. I like that. But people around me do not enjoy movies as much as I do, which is not a bad thing. I think that's completely understandable. And so I have gone to the movies alone a couple of times in the last couple of months. It has been so scary. That's just so weird to me, because I used to do it every single week, no problem. But I do think there's a difference about going in public on like a Friday, Saturday night and seeing all these groups of friends and all these couples and being like, oh my gosh, I'm here alone. I don't think anyone actually cares. Sometimes I see teenagers and they do give me funny looks, but those are teenagers, and I think everyone's scared of teenagers. That's not just a me thing. But like, I want to do other things alone. I think it's okay to do them solo, I guess, because I'm not alone. Like, I do have a support system. I have people to do things with, but I don't want to be so like scared of the idea of doing something by myself. Yeah, I'm curious if I'll do that. Like, that is in the vision, but I think that's an easier task to just like say than to actually do. Other than that, I printed out this little thing that says, I don't know, I just have this crazy faith that everything is going to work out for me. And I feel like that really represents me, because I do think that everything will work out for me. I try my best, and at the end of the day, if something doesn't work out quite how I thought it would, then probably that just wasn't the plan, and that's okay. And then I still have time. I keep forgetting that. And I felt like this spoke to me because, like I said, I'm 22 now. 22 is by no means like some old senior, like middle-aged person. But being in your early 20s is so odd, because half of the people my age are like starting families, they're married, having kids. And then half the people my age like couldn't even imagine doing that. And so then it's like, where am I supposed to be? And I think that comes back to the word of the year, prioritize. Because I just need to figure out, like, what am I doing? Am I happy with this? Am I making this choice for me? Are my priorities in order? But it's important for me to remember, I am 22 years old. I do have time. Obviously, you never know how much time exactly you have, but I can't keep living like so scared that I'm messing up, because I have to just trust myself, and I have to have this crazy faith that everything is going to work out for me. As of right now, everything has worked out for me. So why should I have this lingering thought in my head like something's not going to work out? It hasn't yet, so statistically, I think I should be okay. And then other than that, I just have a little star that says great job, because regardless of what I do in 2026, I know I'm going to do a great job. Now it's time to put everything on my board. Also, I forgot to mention it, but I am hoping to get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube this year, and I want to post 50 YouTube videos. That is kind of a crazy goal, but it's something that I want to do, so let me prioritize it. I think I'll just start with the biggest pictures, and then I'll put those on the opposite corners, and that way I can just build from there. So this is the final product. This is officially my vision board for 2026. Now I get to put it on my desk and look at it and remember what I am doing for the next year.